Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a wonderful day today. This is Yolanda Dixon from last session. And for those who were not present, I am the e-learning coordinator for the distance education.
Hi, Miss Dixon, Miss Basil here. Good evening.
Yes, good day. I'm going to ask you all to remember to mute your microphones if you're not speaking. And if you do need to speak, please click the raise hand button to the bottom of the screen, and then we will identify you and you may speak. Now for this evening, Mr. Ryan McCullough from last night, the junior instructional technologist, he will actually be introducing you to the Blackboard collaboration as well as Aeorian. So you'll be introduced to Blackboard collaboration as well as Aeorian. We will not entertain the questions until after Ryan's presentation. So I'm going to ask everyone to tune in, listen, watch carefully, and then afterwards you will ask your questions. Okay? Now I'm going to turn over to Ryan.
All right, so good evening again, guys. I'm not sure if everyone was hearing me just now. Yolanda, can you confirm if you're hearing me?
Clear. Yes, I'm
Okay.
hearing.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, so as I was saying earlier, Yolanda had mentioned that we would be going through the platforms that we would be using throughout the session, and that is Blackboard Collaborate session and the Moodle platform, right? So it is not Aeorian that we'll be going through, but Moodle. And also some additional information would be shared with you regarding how you can access the resources at the library. Right, so now I'm going to share that video with you guys. Just a minute, please. All right, so before we begin that also, on the bottom of the screen, you should be seeing a raise hand button. That is the button you'll use if you have any question to any of us. And once you raise your hand, we will acknowledge you and you would be allowed to speak. So I'm just trying to find a video note so that we can begin sharing. All right, well, I get that. Yolanda, you had anything else you want to say in the meantime before that? Let me find the video.
All right. So I've been receiving some emails from some of the individuals who tried to log in yesterday, we realized that the platform will not accommodate more than a certain number of students. So what we have decided to do is to ensure that the recordings are placed on our website at online.ncu.edu.jm, and you can all view the recording at a later date. Both recordings will be placed on the website, so you can listen in, watch at a later date.
Still not finding the video as yet.
All right, Ryan, why not go into your presentation and then leave the live video until afterwards?
Okay, all right, sure. All right, so there's a platform that we're on now. That is what we will be using through the course. It's called Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, and most of the classes will be conducted from this platform, right? So there are a few things that you guys need to be aware of so that your class experience would be as efficient as possible. So I'm just sharing my screen right now. All right, so you guys should be seeing what's on my screen right now, right? So to begin, at the top left of your screen, you should be seeing a drop-down menu or open session menu. And from there, you would be in some different options, right? These options will be available to your lecturers, and some will be available to you as well. So the first menu option that you should be aware of is this start recording. On my screen now, it is saying stop recording, but on your screen and when you begin classes, you should be seeing start recording. And there is also this symbol right here that shows that the session is currently being recorded, right? And it is mandatory for your lecturers to record each session, because I know that some of you might be working sometimes and may not get the opportunity to actually be in a class. So once the session is recorded, your lecturer will make that available to you so that you can access that at a later date or at your convenience, right? So the next option now that you should be aware of is the leave session. Now, many of you might be tempted to just close a browser, right? And that is not the correct way to actually leave a session. It is actually right here, clicking on the leave session option. And from there, you should be able to exit a session. But however, if you do close your browser, what that does, it don't actually logs it out of the session. So you would still be in the session, right? And information will still be sharing. Okay. And at the top right here, that shows the topic of the class that you're in and the topic that the lecturer might be presenting on at current. So those are the two options that you will be using right over here in the open session menu. The next thing that I want to share with you guys is this, the Open Collaborate panel. Now from here, you will be able to see different contents. Like for instance, this icon, the chat icon, allows you to send messages in the class, right? So you can send a message individually to persons. So for instance, I will type a message right now, hello. I have the options of using emojis as well. And you can choose whether or not you want to send that message to the entire class or just to an individual in that class. Let me click enter on my keyboard. And everyone should be seeing that, right? Also, you can send messages to different individuals. Right now, you're not seeing all the persons that are in the class right now because of the privileges that you were granted. But I can be able to see the moderators and send messages to the teachers. So before I move on, there are three privileges that individuals are granted. It is moderator, presenter, or participant. Right now, you guys are logged in as participants, right? And that only gives you the option of raising a hand and not sharing your audio or your video. And the lecturer can allow you as a participant to actually share your audio or your video, right? And next thing now, the attendees. This shows you the persons that are actually in the session at the moment. So right now you can see that. I believe you can see that on your screen also. And we can see that a number of hands have been raised. We'll accommodate those questions after. The next option, before we move on to this option, the share option, we'll go into the settings icon. And from here now, you will be able to actually make certain changes to how you want to interact with the session, right? So on the screen now, you're seeing set up camera and microphone. So when you had first logged in, I'm sure you would have the platform would have asked you to set up your microphone and your camera to ensure that it is working correctly. So if you're in a session and it's not going accordingly, then you would click on the setup camera and microphone. And if I click on that right now, it would basically mute my mic. So I'm not going to do that just now. This option, they use your phone for audio. We don't usually use that in a session because that is for basically international people. And it gives you the option to actually call into the session. The speaker volume now, this allows you to turn down your tab. So this does not actually turn down your computer's volume, but it turns down the session's volume. So a lot of times students might have this turned on all the way to 0 and then complain that they can't hear the lecturer, right? So this might be an issue that you might encounter during your time on the platform. So what you want to do is ensure that that is always at a volume that you can actually hear. Also from there, the notification settings, you can actually modify the notifications that you want to get and how you get them, right? So for instance, you're seeing someone joined or left the breakout group or session. So you can actually click to enable collaborate pop-up notifications to ensure that you get those notifications once someone exits or joins a session. And also audio notifications and browser pop-ups notifications, right? So once you click on the audio notifications, you should be getting an audio feedback saying that an audio feedback. So basically like a ping saying that someone has left the session. The browser pop-up notification now sends the notification directly to your browser, right? And also someone post a chat message. So as I said, it is basically self-explanatory, and it's the same options that that are actually above that we just went through. So someone posted a chat message, you want to get a notification, a collaborate pop-up notification, just as you're seeing some pop-ups on my screen just now, right? Disable that. So someone posted a chat message, if you want to ensure that you get that message or you get a notification that someone posts a message. So you want to ensure that this is always enabled, because from time to time, persons might be posting their comments on certain topics that the lecturer might be going through. And audio notification if you want, or browser pop-up notification, the same thing. We won't be using the closed captioning available. So someone raised their hand. So if you want to get it's the same thing, right? So if you raise a hand, no, I won't be able to see that. But just once I click that I got a notification that someone raised their hand. And the session settings now, this, you won't be granted access to this unless you're actually doing a presentation to the class and the teacher grants you this privilege, right? So most persons that are logged in right now, as I said, they're logged in as participants. So participants can share audio. Once I click on that now, your mic, you should see your mic pop up on the screen, and you can turn that on and off. And once I click on share video as well, or post chat messages, or draw on whiteboard, right? All right. So the next thing now, you should be seeing these 4 icons at the bottom. So my status and settings button, that allows you to actually send quick feedbacks, right? So for instance, you're feeling happy, sad, surprised about a topic that a lecturer is presenting on. So for instance, let me click on the happy. The lecturer should get that notification that you're actually, I'll put it now, liking what he's saying, basically. And that should pop up on his screen and tells him exactly who is responding, right? And you can also leave the session from here as well. Remember, I had shown you earlier that you could leave it from here, from the open session menu. You can also leave it from the My Status and Settings. And you can also make changes as well. You can reach back over to this section by clicking My Settings right here. And it brings up this. So let me show you that. So it brings up the settings tab on the left, on the right, sorry. And also you can click on the agree or disagree. If you don't agree with what a lecturer is saying, simply click on disagree. The lecturer will acknowledge you that you would have responded in that way, and may even acknowledge you to actually give a feedback to the class, right? So next icon, share audio, or select to mute. So right now my microphone is on, as you can see. Once I click on that, so that disabled my audio, right? The next one now, share video. I'm going to click on that and you should be able to see. That allows you to do is basically have a picture or a video of you up, right? That persons can actually see. Most persons choose not to enable this option because at times the background might not be appropriate, or they don't want anyone to actually see them, right? And the next feature, the raise hand feature. So most lecturers do not appreciate just talking out in the class. As I said, sometimes that can be disruptive. So this option right here is very useful. You raise your hand, and the lecturer actually acknowledges that you had raised your hand and give you the opportunity to actually talk, right? And those are the main features that you will be using on the Blackboard Collaborate session, right? I don't think there's anything else in the session that in Blackboard Collaborate that you will deem really necessary to you, right? And also at the top of the screen, you can also see this button. It shows that the session is also being recorded. So along with this icon right here, this allows you to actually know that the session is being recorded, right? So the next thing that I want to share is, let me get back to that. Oh, there's one other thing that I didn't touch much on. It's a share content. So from time to time, you might have presentations to do in class, and you might want to share a PowerPoint or a file with the class and so forth. So that this option, the share content, allows you to actually share your screen or the files that you might want to share. So once you click on that share content, you should be seeing share blank whiteboard, which actually allows you to share a blank whiteboard as you're seeing, basically. So it's basically self-explanatory. From there, you can actually do certain writings that the classes can see. So let me just do that for you. You have the different options of either pencil, shapes, or you want to type something, right? So let me click on the type, the text, then click on the whiteboard itself, and then you will be able to type on the blackboard itself. And you can also make, you can clear that if you want. If you had made a mistake and you want to clear that, then simply click on the eraser right here, and that removes it for you, right? And also shapes, there are 3 shapes that Blackboard offers for you to use: rectangle, ellipse, or jawline. You can simply click on it and then click on your mouse and drag it across the screen, or across the whiteboard, sorry. Next thing, the pencil. As I said, most of these tools you might be exposed to already. So most of them basically actually does what it actually suggests, right? The next, and the pointer. So if you're making a presentation and you want to show the class exactly where you are, you would use that pointer to actually do that. And the select. So if you want to move an object about, if you had written something somewhere and you want to move it about, you can do that with the select option. The next option that, so sorry, before I move on, I'm going to stop sharing whiteboard and move to share application screen. So what this option does, it allows you to share your entire screen or just an application window or a Chrome tab, right? So just as I was doing earlier, I was sharing my screen, and you can be able to see everything on it right now. Next thing, stop sharing screen. So you want to share an application window, right? The application window is basically different tabs that you can share in your Chrome session, right? In a Chrome browser or any browser that you are using. Sorry. So I click on one that I want to share, and from there you should be seeing that. So click on that and then share. Okay. Sorry, let me get back to this. Sharing my screen again. So the share files also allow you, as I said, to share different files with the class. If you have a presentation, you want to share a PowerPoint, the share files option allow you to do that. The polling now, you won't necessarily be using this, but it allows you to take different polls within the class. So you have a particular survey that you want to share with the class and allow them to participate in it. Just click on polling, and that will bring it to the class itself. Sorry. The breakout groups now, this option is only for the lecturers. So from time to time, the lecturers might put you in different groups for you to discuss certain topics amongst yourself and so forth, right? So That's it for Blackboard. Those are the main things that you will be using. Let me close that. Go back to share. Stop sharing. So the next one that we're moving on to is the Moodle platform. And this is the one that, this is the platform that we will be using. So most of you might be exposed to ARN as a student, if you are a student at NCU, but the main platform that we will be using is Moodle, which is basically an advanced version of ARN, sorry. So right now, let me just log out of this session. All right, so as I said, this is the Moodle platform that you will be using, right? And the first thing that you want to do, well, to get to this platform, the URL is online.ncu.edu.jm, as you're seeing on the top of my, in my URL browser tab, right? So that's online.ncu.edu.jm, and you might want to write that down. All right, so that's online.ncu.edu.jm. All right, so once you log in, the first thing that you want to do is enter your username and password. So most of your username would be your number that you would have gotten. And once you have activated your accounts, you would have been prompted to enter a password as well. And that is the password that you would use to actually log into the platform. So let me do that now. The password was entered already. And you want to click on this tab to actually enter the platform now. All right. So once you're logged in, you should be seeing the different courses that you are enrolled in. So right now, you're actually seeing that I'm enrolled in different courses right here: music notation, online exam center. Those are the courses that I am enrolled in. But you should be seeing the courses that you are enrolled in. So if you're doing small business management, you should be seeing that right here, right? So, but before you reach there, if you're not seeing the screen, it means that you're on the timeline screen. And what the timeline screen page does, sorry, is show you the different activities that you have upcoming, right? So right now you're seeing on my screen, I have an assignment that is coming up and the due date and the time that it is due, right? So you won't have any excuse to say that you weren't aware that an assignment is coming up or you missed it because you did not know, right? Your timeline is there to remind you constantly that you have activities coming up. Also, there's a calendar on the bottom of your screen that shows you the different timelines, that different activities that are coming up as well, right? So it's showing me right now that a session is available for yesterday, and I also have activities or assignments that are due on the 26th. So you should be seeing that once you're logged in. Also, you can see that from here, your calendar. All right. So going back to courses. So right here, you should be seeing there are three different areas to this page, right? In progress, future, and past. So in progress shows you the courses that you are currently enrolled in, right? The future shows you the courses that you will have coming up. So if you choose to register for the next module and you log in with the same login credentials, then you should be seeing it on the future, right? And the past, as the name suggests, shows you the courses that you would have taken in the past. All right, so we're going back to the dashboard. To get back there, click on dashboard. And I'm going to show you an example of a course, which is student orientation course. So to enter your courses, you would normally click on this. But before move on to there, you should be seeing this somewhat donut chart. So it actually shows you the progress that you have made in a course. So Moodle actually does an estimation to tell you exactly where you are in a course. If the course is 7% completed or 10% completed. And so once you have completed an assignment or a presentation or so forth, Moodle actually keeps a check of that and shows you how far you are in that course. So that's what the 7% is currently indicating right now. So to enter your course, as I said, you will click on in progress, find the course that you are enrolled in. Some of you might be enrolled in more than one courses, so you should be seeing more than one courses on the in progress tab. So I'm going in student orientation course. And this is what a course will generally look like, right? So you would have the welcome to student orientation or welcome to the course. And you should be seeing a welcome message from the lecturer, right? And announcements. Now this shows you the different announcements that would have been made by the lecturer, right? Or yes, so click on, and it should, once you click on that, it should tell you the announcements that the lecturer had made. So, all right, let me do that again. So currently I'm in the announcement tab, and you may want to get out of this. You should be seeing the different things on the screen here got the announcement. But to get back to the course now, you should be seeing a course code, sorry. So you click on the course code, and that brings you back to the course itself. Right? So this is the welcome message as you're seeing, welcome to your orientation course. Now, graded assignments and activities. As I said, the lecturers would have posted these beforehand sometimes, or made them visible to you beforehand. Sometimes you might not be seeing that until the lecturer makes that available to you. Right? So graded assessment activities. So we want to see, for instance, assignment 1 or quiz 1. So assignment 1, click on that. And I had made an upload beforehand, right? And it should also tell you once the lecturer has graded that assessment, you can click on that, and you can click on grade, sorry, and that should show you your grade. So currently this is showing not graded, and it shows you how much time you have remaining and so forth. Let me go back. All right, so submission status shows you the due date, as I said, of the assignment, the number of attempts that you are allowed, the grading status is, it is showing not yet graded. So for instance, you want to make changes. For instance, you had uploaded an assignment and you want to actually make changes to that assignment, or you might have uploaded the wrong file or so forth. So what you want to do is go to the bottom of the screen and find edit submission. And what that does, as the name suggests, it makes changes to your submission. So edit submission. What you want to do now is click on the file itself and then delete that file. Or you can download that file to actually do a review of it if you, say for instance, lost that file. So I'm going to delete this file now. Ask me if are you sure you want to delete this file? Okay. and now you want to make a new submission, right? So what you want to do is click on this icon, it's the add file icon, or you want to create a folder, for instance. So the main feature that you'll be using is the add file feature. So once you click on that, you should be seeing this pop-up menu coming up, showing file picker, right? And choose file, and that should open a window on your computer. And as I said, you can search for your file by typing in the file name. So I'm going to type in user training, or you can click a file, or if you know where your file is, you can actually access that file from where you believe it is. I'm going to upload a file, click open. You can choose to give it a different name. So I'm going to save it as assignment 1, assignment updated. And you can also choose whether or not you want to change the author's name. So normally you would leave that as your name. And then you click on upload this file. Alright, so once that is done, you want to ensure that you click on save changes. Okay, and you can see that the assignment was updated. All right, so we're going back to the course again. So also the next option that might be there is a quiz. The lecturer might allow you to take a quiz online. So I'm going to click on that. And it's just like taking any quiz. It tells you the amount of attempts that are allowed. I had completed this quiz before, so that's why you're seeing a grade, right? So once you click on quiz, that should bring you directly to the quiz, and you will be able to answer the questions that are posted to that quiz. So going back to course. The next thing now is this icon, which represents a forum. So from time to time, the lecturers might require you to participate in certain discussions, right? So right now you're seeing on my screen, is global warming a real thing? This is actually a forum that was created beforehand. So in this forum, you should also be seeing a description at the bottom of that, saying in this forum you will discuss global warming and please post responses. So click on that. And from there you should click add a new topic. You're allowed, you should be seeing some asterisks, meaning some red asterisks, meaning these are mandatory for you to fill out. So the subject and the message, those are mandatory. You should type something in that bracket, right? So the subject is global warming a real thing? And a message. That would be of your choosing. And you can make certain modifications or on the font and so forth. So you can change that to large. You can bold it or italize it, sorry. Right? And you can post an image, a video, or another file, right? Post an image to that as well. So the image, usually you should post the image from your URL basically. So you normally post the URL of the image. So what you want to do is find that image, find the image's URL. Let me get one. This. you want to copy the URL itself, you can copy it from here. And post it right there. And save image. Images must have a description. Is description not necessary? Save image. Okay, so you should also set a size for the image, 400. 400. Or you can click the auto size option, save image. And from there, it should be popping up. I'm having some issues with that right now. Right. And it's the same thing that we did right now. So for instance, you did a Microsoft file and you want to add that file as a discussion. So what you would do, click on the add file icon. Do the same thing that we did before. Choose file. File. You can change the name, discussion, and upload this file. And post a forum. You want to ensure that you click on this button. And you should be getting some notifications saying your post was added successfully. And you have 30 minutes to edit before, if you want to make any changes to it. So if that 30 minutes pass, then your file would be uploaded and you will be able to make changes to that. Sorry. And the lecturer will be notified of new post. Right. So you can see your post would have been made, and you can also see who posted from here. So you can also read other person's post that they had made. So once you click on that, you should see that person's file, or you can make a reply to that. You shouldn't be seeing this because this is where I am, because I am the lecturer in this course right now. Sorry. So we're going back to the course. All right, so the Blackboard Collaborate. So from here, you will be doing most of the classes, as I said. So once you log in, you can enter a classroom by clicking on the Blackboard session that the lecturer would have provided. Currently, I'm seeing 3 because I had created 3 for this course, but usually you should only be seeing 1 on your screen, right? Click on Classroom, and that should open a new tab and brings you directly to the Blackboard session. So once you click on that, you want to click on Join Session, right? And that will bring you directly to the classroom. And also below that, you should be seeing recordings. And these are basically, I was explaining earlier, your lecturer is required to record each session, right? And you can access those recordings by coming, as I said, clicking on your classroom Blackboard Collaborate session and on the course, go into the course, clicking on your classroom session. And you can access your recordings by clicking on the recording. So you can use the dates that the class, so for instance, you had missed a class, you would look for the date that recording would have been made. And you should be able to see everything that the lecturer would have went through in that particular session. The Collaborate guest link, you would not be seeing this on your screen. This is only granted to the lecturer, right? All right, so going back to the course. All right, evaluations now. You are required at the end of each course to actually do an evaluation of the course and the lecturer. So there are certain questions that will be asked, whether or not you were satisfied with the delivery and so forth. Let me click on that to show you an example. Okay, so I wouldn't be seeing that right now. As I said, there are certain questions that are asked at the end of each class, and you are required to actually participate in these surveys, right? So, for instance, you're seeing question 1, the facilitator stimulated my interest in the subject. And what this does is actually give us a feedback, and also the lecturer a feedback as to your experience throughout the course. All right. And you can go through that. We're going back to the course. Yes, and basically those are the main things that you will be going through, that you will be interacting in a course. So earlier I had shown you the percentage. I was telling you earlier that Moodle actually keeps a track as to your progress in the course and actually gives you that feedback, right? So after you have completed an assignment, for instance, or a quiz, what you want to do is ensure that you click on a box, and one of these boxes on the box, sorry, beside the quiz. So I completed the quiz. Click on that box. I had completed the discussion, so I click on that box as well. And once you click on these boxes, the system does an update in the background, tells you how far you are in the course. So what I'm going to do is go back to my courses to show you the dashboard, sorry, and it will show you the progress. So the progress that would have been made. So before we had entered, it was at 7%. Now it's at 42%, showing you how far you are in that course. Right. So going back to that course, back into the course. Next thing is a profile. So you can make certain changes to your profile. For instance, updating the picture. Right now you're seeing a picture on mine because I had made certain changes to my profile, right? You should also be seeing grades and so forth, which we'll be getting to shortly. So go into profile. So you should be seeing your email address and the option to actually make changes to your profile. So click on edit profile. And from there, you can change your username, right? You can update your email address, and you can change your picture by clicking on the picture. Sorry. Okay, so you would add a new picture if you want to actually change your profile picture. So not by clicking on the picture, but clicking on the add file, then choose file, and you would search for the image that you want if you want to make, as I said, changes or upload a profile picture. Cancel that. I'm going to cancel that. All right, and after you are done that, you will click on update profile. And the course details now, under that you will see the courses that you are enrolled in, right? So the other option is you are not basically required to use these. So for instance, you're seeing report and today's logs, it shows you how long you would have been on a session and so forth. So we won't be disclosing that, right? Going back to the dashboard. Yes, so, and also upcoming events, it's the same thing as your timeline. What it does is shows you the different things that you have coming up. right? So as I said, you won't be having any excuses as to why you missed a quiz, because you will be given certain notifications once you log into the session that these quizzes are coming up and you need to do them, right? Next thing now, the messages. This shows you different messages that you would have gotten. So for instance, a lecturer would have sent you a message, or our next student would have sent you a message. So you will be able to access that message from here. You can also create a new message. And once that person is in a contact, or in a class, then you will be able to type a message and send it to them. For instance, someone would have sent me a message earlier. I'll respond to that later on. You can also see your contacts by clicking on that. All right. And to log out now, basically click on your profile again, or on your name, and log out of the session, right? So those are the main things that you will be interacting with on Moodle. There is nothing else right here that you would be required to actually go on. So as I was saying earlier, the username should be an ID that you would have gotten, and the password that you would have created while logging into the course. All right, so basically, those are, as I said, these are the platforms that you will be using. These are the platforms that you will be using. If there are any questions, I will be available for the first 2 weeks of a class to facilitate any questions that you may have, right? And any challenges that you may encounter. So you can also you can always call the Distance Education Center and we'll be able to assist you, right? So if there are any questions, I'll be taking those questions now. I'm going to turn on the mics and so forth. Stop sharing. All right, yes, so you guys can go ahead if you have any questions. Let me acknowledge the person.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Hello?
Yes, Miss Lynn, right?
I'm Serena.
Oh, okay, go ahead with the question. Well, Serena, listen.
Yes, Serena I was late. My internet was giving me trouble, so I just got in. So I actually lost of everything.
Okay, well, a recording was being made, and that is still on right now. And you should be granted access to this soon.
Pardon
So
me?
what you will be granted access to the recording. As I said, a recording was done, so you will be granted access to it.
Okay.
So
How do I go to?
as I said, we will share it with all the students soon.
Okay.
So
All right. Thank you very much, Miss Makela. Mr. Makela,
All
right?
right, you're welcome. Yes.
All
Good
right.
evening, sir.
Yes. Good evening.
Christine here.
Christine.
Yes,
Christine.
I have a question. How will we receive our certificate after the course?
Okay, that's a question for Yolanda. Miss Dixon, sorry.
Oh,
I'm not sure if she's here.
she's okay.
Give me a minute, please. I'm right here.
Okay, miss.
Okay. All right. Any more questions in the meantime regarding the platform and what we have been through?
No,
Good
sir.
afternoon. Hello.